Hi, everybody. It's Cathy Tuttle with Chair Yoga, and today we have a standing practice. So I will cue the seated variations, but we're going to pretty much be up and moving around. This is October, and October is the month of a lot of things changing with the seasons. It is ruled by Libra, which governs the kidneys. And of course, that involves hydration. So let's all stay hydrated. Here you go. Now, one of the things that I'm going to mention this month is one of the things that I always keep an eye on when I am adding or changing something. I keep an eye on a couple different cautions. And first of all, you know best. Take care of yourself, adapt as needed. But one of the things I want to highlight this month is osteoporosis or osteopenia. As we get older, many of us have these things come forward that we realize we have to be more careful about injuring ourselves or falling. And osteoporosis, when I do oppose and I encourage you to be careful if you're very new to working with me, it's because I'm thinking about all the different ways that we can kind of get off course and then have to get back on course. So osteoporosis or osteopenia, I will say do a flat back forward fold. The reason for that is because you want to be careful with your vertebrae. Some of us have it in the lower back, might be even the middle back or in the neck. So we want to be cautious of it and see how it feels before we start moving into it. Now, if you've been doing yoga for a long time or you've done it in the past, you probably already know these things. But remember, everybody doesn't have all the same experiences, and some people are going to be able to move a little better than others. So the other thing that I discourage is full back bends. Don't do them until you know you can do them. In our class, we're only going to do mini back bends. Also, I start with mini twists. We can go a little further, but it's up to you to pick what you do. Also, I like to keep one foot on the floor at all times. That's because you want to make sure you don't kind of go off balance or overdo the strain on the back. So with that in mind, you may not have that going forward now, but down the road, that might be something that you remember. I don't know about you, but I always remember something off course and say, oh, I remember something about that. And then you utilize it. Okay, so we're going to be doing standing poses today. Let's sit back into chair mountain pose. And you can feel your sit bones on the chair supporting you. Your feet are comfortably on the floor. And if you need to, you can always take a block. If your feet are not comfortable on the floor, you can always raise your feet a little bit. I love props. And roll your shoulders back. Let your back meet the back of the chair so that you're encouraging yourself to sit up, but you're not straining, you're comfortable. Now, find your easy breath before we get started. Bring it in, bring it out. Breathing in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. Wiggle around to get comfortable. And if you'd like, you can find your diaphragmatic breath, which is just around the navel center. And if you want to, you can see if you're breathing into your chest. Because when you breathe into your chest, it's a habit that we sometimes get into, but it also is how we breathe when we're upset or anxious or having to deal with something as an emergency. So it's actually telling our hormonal system to kick into gear. So we want to calm that down. Let's find our easy breath. Practice breathing in through the nostrils into the belly. Exhale out through the nostrils. It takes practice if you're doing upper body, upper chest breathing to shift it to the diaphragm. Let's see if we can do that. Meanwhile, settle into your chair. And while we're at it, take a quick inventory of what's going on. How's your body feeling? Did you walk this morning? Did you do something that maybe was a little vigorous? All right. So don't hold your breath while we're going through things. For circulation, we want to just keep things going easily. And when we do poses that use the shoulders, I encourage you to adapt them as much as you want. When I'm going arms up, you can literally not do that if that's what's best for your shoulders, or you might only do one arm up. Okay? It's absolutely good. Anything we do, I'm going to give you options and when there's different progressions. And I cannot see you. So I'm counting on you to pick what is right for you, because the important thing is to keep showing up. And you show up if you're not hurting. Okay. Let's get started with elongation. And you can sit in the chair to do that, but I'm going to stand today and do it. Because especially if you have osteoporosis, it might feel better to stand. I've got my prop next to me to start balancing if I need to. So here we are standing and nice and solid on our feet. And this is actually standing mountain pose. So let's soften the knees, not bending, just soften them. Take a breath, roll the shoulders back, put your hands out, palms facing me. This is Tadasana, also known as mountain pose. And as we get started, let's think about, what do we want today? What do we want to get from this? In September, we took a look at some of the written outlines that were provided, and you might want to say, well, I like this piece or that piece, and I wouldn't mind adding that in for a daily type of thing. Let's do that today. Let's think about, what do we like? Chair mountain pose. I'm going to put my feet a little wider so I'm steadier. And here we go. We're going to go. Inhale up. And notice I'm not going fast. Exhale down. Remember your own movement of the arms depending on your shoulders. One more inhale up. Keep this knee soft. Exhale down. This time, only your right arm up. Here we go. Inhale up. Keep it there. Exhale down. Let's extend the right side. Inhale up. Lengthening only the right side. Exhale down. Let's go to the other side. Inhale up, left hand. Exhale or keep it there. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it down. Good. Okay, so now we want to go side to side. I'm going to get myself nice and stable. And if you're seated, you can hold on to the side of your chair and you can actually grip the side of your chair and make this elbow a little bit of a hinge. If you're standing, remember to soften your knees. Here we go. We're going to inhale up, the right side only. Here we go. Inhale up. Maybe put your hand on your waist. Exhale. Inhale. Let's tip over just a little bit on that inhale. Open up the side body. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Soften the knees. See if you want to extend a little more, opening up that fascia tissue. Exhale down. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Soften the knees. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale, let's tip over. Exhale, come on down. The spine moves 4 ways. We extend, we go side to side, and now we're going to do our mini back bend. But first, let's do the turtle. You ready? I'm going to turn sideways so you see it, but you don't have to turn sideways. Basically, the turtle is moving your face forward and back, and nothing else is going very far. So I'm going to place my hands on my shoulders and go forward and back. When you're back, your chin is in neutral position, which means your spine and your cervical spine are in neutral position. That's what I want to make sure you understand. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do a mini back bend, and the way to do that, if you're seated, you just kind of get to the middle of your chair. I like to think of being stable on the chair and only going to the back bend as far as opening my chest and going backwards will get. So I'm going to turn sideways. I'm softening my knees. And you're going to see there's no real visible back bend. But let's inhale, roll the shoulders back, bring the shoulder blades down, chest out. That's going to give you the tiniest little back bend. Exhale, bring the shoulders back to normal. Here we go. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, open up the chest. Exhale, bring it on back. I've been noticing that if I keep my cervical spine where I want it with the chin, and I go inhale and roll it back, I'm feeling pretty good with the vertebrae being where I want them to be because I'm also elongated. Exhale back. So the next piece is what I talked about before with the forward fold. We're going to do a flat back forward fold on the exhale. So we're going to stay neutral for the inhale. And then on the exhale, hinge at the hips a little and flat back forward fold. And see if you can remember, I just had to remember your chin being in neutral turtle position. And then inhale, back up. Roll the shoulders forward on the exhale. Come on down with the hinged hips. Roll them back, inhale. Okay, now we're going to do cat-cow. This is a great thing to do on a daily basis if you were going to pick one thing. And what we're going to do is on the inhale, we're going to go to the mini back bend. And then on the exhale, we're going to go to the flat back forward fold. And we're going to do 2 like that. And then the next 3, we're going to give you the option of doing a little more on the forward fold, okay? And the goal is to try and get the flow going. Here we go. Inhale, mini back bend, keep the knees soft. Exhale, flat back forward fold. Remember your chin. Inhale, number 2. Exhale. Inhale, number 3, and then if you want, you can do more of a forward fold. Not too much though, because this is cat-cow. Inhale, number 4. Exhale. Inhale, number 5. Exhale. Okay, that is cat-cow. Next, I want to start working with the joints. I'm going to sit down for this. Now we already elongated, we already moved side to side, and we already did the front and back, forward and back. So now we're going to start working on the joints. And today, let's just do the clavicle tracing, where you basically do an arch or a half moon. So remember, if you have issues with your neck, you may want to not tip your head down very far. Anything you do is great. Do what's best for you. I'm dropping my head, and then I want to trace the clavicle along, and I'm keeping moving. I'm doing about 5. This is number 3. And I'm just rocking it back and forth. Last one. Okay. Now we're going to look side to side. So let's look to the right, to the left, to the right. Nice and smooth, and keep moving evenly. Left, that's 3, I think. 4, 5. Now we're going to pretend that we're touching our ear to our shoulder. Now, no, we're not going to touch it. So we want to keep our shoulders down. You might want to just remind yourself with your hands crossed or hands on the shoulders, or just drop them. Let's pretend that we're going to touch the shoulder. Tip to your right, tip to your left. And I apologize if I'm going backwards here with my instructions of which direction to go. This is the first time I've used a particular computer program that I'm working with, and it's all a learning curve. 2 more after this. Okay, so we're in shape there. Now we're going to go to the shoulders, and let's stand up again. Ah, it feels good. Let's just roll the shoulders a little bit, and then go the other direction. Let's do the wrists. Shake it out. Let's do a little bit of arm work, not too much. I'm not looking for any weights or anything here. Backwards. Okay. Now we're going to warm up the hip joints and the legs. So since if you're seated, this is going to be a little harder, so don't try and do too many repetitions of it. Remember that you can scoot over if you'd like, but just make sure you have something to steady yourself. That way, and go to the edge of the chair a little bit. That way you can move past the leg here. Okay, you can do that. Or you can do it just to the edge of the chair and just go up and back like this. Either way is fine. The important thing is to move. The goal is to move the joints, not to be too rough or too fast. So I'm going to hold my chair, and I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this around. So basically, you elongate on this side, and it will automatically lift this foot off the floor. We've gone through this before. It's kind of automatic once you get used to it. And soften the knee on your standing leg. And just rock it in the socket. And remember, seated people, you're not going to do as many because it's going to be harder for you. So now, just lift up your knee and make mini circles. Little mini ones to just move that hip joint in another direction and go the other direction. Then just rock this back and forth. Nothing big, nothing small, just rock it in the socket. Okay, let's do the other side. And I'm going to stand forward this time so you can actually see that I'm on my 2 feet, pretty standardly straightforward. Now I'm going to tip over, and that frees up this foot. Soften the standing knee, the knee on the standing leg, and then just rock it gently. Okay? If you're seated, remember, take it easy. Then lift up and just rotate in many, many circles that knee goes. And then go the other direction. I was doing it bigger before, and I realized that wasn't the point. And then just rock the knee. You can hold it if you need to. All right. Yay. Oh, let's do a mini twist. If you're seated, just come to the middle of the chair. And if you're standing, just soften those knees a little bit. I'm going to do a mini twist. Roll the shoulders back, bring the shoulder blades down. Go ahead and point at me. Bring your other arm up. Place your hand on the opposite shoulder. Elongate the spine. Take an inhale and an exhale. Keep the knees soft. On the next inhale, let's rotate starting from the waist, then the shoulders, then the head. Tiny little bit, not very far. Then inhale, come on back with the head, shoulders, and waist. How did that feel? Was that okay? If it bothered you somewhere, do it a little less. Let's do the other side. Pointing, open up the shoulders, hand on the opposite shoulder. Take an inhale. On the exhale, twist from the waist, the shoulders, the head. Then come on back, inhale, head, shoulders, waist. What we're doing is we're warming things up. We don't want to do anything too fast. But while we're here, and we've done this, let's just do a little tiny twist, not much. You can move your arms different ways. You can swim. All right. Take a moment. How does that feel? I'm going to sit down for this one because we're going to do the rest of the legs. We're going to sit with our knees above our ankles. If you look there, you can see, okay. Now, take this foot, lift it up, and place it about where the toes are on your opposite foot. And then bring the other foot to meet it. Grab the chair. I'm kind of sitting in the middle. Lift the leg and rotate. Remember I said I was leaving one foot on the floor. I'm keeping my chest open while I'm doing this too, just naturally. Then go the other direction. Good. Set that down, lift up the other foot. Doesn't matter what direction you start or what foot you start with. It's good to give the ankles a little bit of love. Okay, step back. If you have tennis balls, you could take one and you can set it down and take one foot and with no real pressure, just roll it along at the bottom of the foot. Between the ball of the foot and the heel, there's a section called the fascia tissue of that limb, of that part of the body. And this is a good way to give a little massage for it, to give it a little break. Let's do the other foot. Okay, here we go. And if you don't have a tennis ball now, you can have it next time, because you never know what I'm going to pull out of my bag of tricks. Okay. So Next, I want to mention that I am building up the shoulders a little bit with you with a particular exercise that uses strap or maybe a non-knitted, something that doesn't have a lot of give to it, towel, a tea towel, something like that, a dish towel. And I want you to notice, and this is black against my print shirt, so you can see it pretty well when I turn it this way. My elbows, I'm not going to have them straight out. I'm going to bend them a little bit, and this is how it looks. I'm not going straight out, I'm going bent, okay? So look at your elbows, see if they're bent, and then I'm going to go back and forth between having it straight and loose. And when it's straight, I'm going to be pulling it to my left and my right. So this side is being pulled that way, and this side is being pulled this way. So let's practice that. We're not pulling now. We're just easy, and then we're going to loosen it a little bit. And we're not going to do it hard. We're just going to make it straight and pull out either direction. Make it straight, make it bent and loose. Go to straight, pull out. One more. Make it loose, then straight and pull out. Okay, good. What we're doing is I can feel it a little bit in these muscles, and we're just giving a tiny bit of isometric work to the shoulders. Now, at this point, I want to do one more thing with the shoulders, and it's called eagle arms. And there's a couple versions you can do before we head into the hip work. If you want to, you can cross your hands here, and then when we inhale up, you open your chest and you do that. Exhale down. Make sure your vertebrae is extended, your spine is lengthened. If you would like to, that would be level 1. If you would like to, you can extend one arm with the palm up, take the other arm and cross it at the elbow or near the elbow, and just place the backs of the hands together. Now, I know there's a level 3 where you can wrap your arms around each other at the lower part of the arms, but we're not going to do that today. So let's pick your version of what you want. Either crossing the arms, which is a great way to start. Roll the shoulders back, extend the spine. If you want to try to do the other second one, you can put your hand out to me with the palm up, then take your other arm and just flip it over on the lower part of the arm, then bend at the elbow, and the backs of the hands are to each other. And we go inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up as much as you feel good with. Exhale down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more. Inhale up, exhale down. All right. That just helps a little bit with some of the back muscles too. Now we're going to do chair pigeon. And I give you levels 1, 2, and 3. You might find that on one side you need one type of level, and then the other side you're fine with another. If you have had hip surgery, knee surgery, or ankle surgery, or have any issues in those areas, you want to try level 1 first and stay there until you know it's 100%. So I'm going to hold the back of my chair. I'm going to step with my knees right over my ankles. Nice inhale, exhale. Let's lift the foot, cross this ankle over the opposite ankle. Take this hand, place it on the knee. Now, level 2, take an inhale. On the exhale, let's bring up your ankle to your knee. Take an inhale. On the exhale, place your hand on the knee and see if it opens this hip. Level 3, if you choose, inhale up, exhale down. All right, let's do the other side. Inhale up, exhale cross, place the hand on the knee and opens it up. Take an inhale. Exhale, let's cross. Inhale. Exhale. See how that feels when you place your hand on your knee. Inhale up. Exhale down. And there we have chair pigeon. Okay, so let's get back to some standing, but if you're seated, I want you to come to the middle of the chair, get yourself placed really carefully and on your feet so that you're sound and you have your props nearby if you need them. First thing we're going to do is a little bit of balance. So we're going to do step and tap. And I'm going to have my chair right here because I don't want to think about it. Soften the knees. Step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. I'm barely touching the chair, but it's there if I need it. Okay? Good. I'm not trying to make any quick moves. It's about proprioception in the brain. Woohoo! And this little move helped me a lot. So I like this move. And you can dance to it if you want. Okay. So now let's just stand here and we're going to widen our stance a little bit and we're going to do twists. And remember, you have to do the best for you. If you do not want to do a full twist, then I want you to do what's best. Let's soften the knees a little bit. Remember that if you're standing, you lift the opposite heel. So if I'm twisting this way, I'm lifting the opposite heel. Let's twist, twist, twist. And you can swing your arms a little bit. Try not to hit props like I just did. It all works. And then you can bring the arms up a little bit. You can punch, 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 punch. All right. Okay. You can even bring them up a little higher. And the reason is because it starts moving different parts of the spine. There's always something, isn't it? Okay, let's come on down. All right, good. And kind of be loosey-goosey with it. All right. We're going to keep moving. And stop whenever you want and hydrate. But we're going to do the reaching exercise. And remember, if something is not your cup of tea, you are in charge. You're the boss, applesauce. Andy Warhol's mom used to say that to him. So I want you to do your variation when we start reaching. And we're going to go up, and then we're going to go middle, and then we're going to go down. So here we go. Reach, reach, reach. Remember that heel's still coming up. Reach, reach. We're going to do a few more up, up, up. And then we're going to go to middle after this. Middle, like I'm reaching for something on the table. I'm going a little bit. We already warmed up our side to side spine, so you should be okay. Don't overdo it. And I'm actually tipped forward a little bit when I'm standing because it gives me more balance, and I just noticed that. Now we're going to go low. Now, I usually don't go this low, but I am today. So modify what you need to. Stop when you want. It's not going to help if you overdo it. And we're going to go middle again. I always think I'm reaching for something on the table. All right, keep going. We're getting a little bit of a heart rate going here, and then we go up, up. There's all kind of things you can do. If you don't like this, When I'm doing this, you can do some marching. You can do whatever feels right. And I'm lifting that heel up. Do you see that? And kind of keeping the knees soft. All right, we're almost done, but keep moving a little bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and do goddess pose real quick. And we've practiced the Mula Bandha before, where we do the core work. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to just go right into goddess. So here we are. And if you're seated, it's the same thing. And we're going to stay straight up on what's called a sagittal plane. And this is what it's going to look like, okay? So think about that. You want to open the shoulders. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Keep the shoulders open. Elbows wide. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Stay there and breathe. Oh. Okay. Now we're going to do the as if to wrap this up. And if you're seated, you can be in the middle of the chair and you can pretend that you're going to stand up and pretend that you're coming down. But when you come down, make sure you tense the muscles that you would use if you were actually sitting down. And remember, we kind of want to make sure we know where the chair is. So I like to touch the backs of my legs to the chair to know it's exactly where I want it to be. When I'm standing up, I want to feel it. So I'm going to inhale up. And then when you come down, control it. Don't just flop down, exhale down. Then inhale up. Okay, keep going, exhale down. Use the chair to help you if you need it. Stop whenever you want. This is something that starts building up over time. Keep it. Inhale up. The reason we want to do it is because we all have things happen in life that we don't expect, and sometimes we can't get around as much, and so later on we have to build up muscles again. You want to know what the muscles are that help you get out of your chair. So notice those muscles. You're pressing your feet into the floor. Your glutes are activating. Your core. Come on down. Same thing. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good job. So let's come back to chair mountain pose. With your feet comfortably on the floor. Feel your sit bones in the chair. Roll your shoulders back with the shoulder blades coming down the spine. And just sit comfortably. Make sure you don't overextend. Just be comfortable. The back of the chair supports you. And let's come back to finding the easy breath. Whatever that means for you, and settle in here. You did great today. And as you find your easy breath, I invite you to either close your eyes or look at your knees. And breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Finding your easy breath. As you breathe in, you can visualize breathing in energy and nourishment and moving it to the physical places or the emotional things that are going on with you and nourishing those parts. So let's inhale and exhale. Notice the crown of the head. the space between your eyebrows, hollow of the throat, heart center, right and left shoulders, upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, tops and bottoms of the hands, wrists, lower arms, elbows, upper arms, right and left shoulders, heart center. Move your attention to your navel center, sacrum, right and left hip joints, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and tops and bottoms of the feet. Ankles, calves, knees, thighs, hip joints, sacrum, navel center, heart center, hollow of the throat, space between the eyebrows, crown of the head. As you inhale, imagine bringing in energy and nourishment through the crown of the head, sending it through all the parts of the body that we've touched on. And then when you exhale, release stress and tension. Inhale, exhale. May I be well, healthy, and strong. May I be happy. May I abide in peace. May I feel safe and secure. May I feel loved and cared for. If you'd like, you can bring your hands to heart position. And bow to seal your practice as you thank yourself for making time for yourself today. And thank you for joining me for Chair Yoga.